everyone, this is Vidisha Tiwari, welcoming you all to a fresh episode of Alumonials. Today we have with us Ayushi Chaturvedi from Hyundai Motors Limited, and she has been working as a brand strategy in the brand strategy team, and she's also leading the development of the Hyundai's music property, the Hyundai Spotlight, featuring multiple young artist industry. So hello, Ayushi, and we'll be asking you certain questions about how can you guide the junior batch, and how can you help us with all your experience. So we'll be starting with some of our questions. First of all, hello, and please tell me about how your life is going with you right as of now.
Hi, Vidisha. So life is going really well. It's been 2 years that I've been working with Hyundai, and these 2 years have been full of learning and have been amazing for me, in fact. And I feel glad to be able to represent as an alumni of MDI-M today, and just to be able to share my experiences over this brief discussion. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, we are glad to have you here. So starting with the first question, like how was your movement from the campus to the corporate life? How was your experience in the corporate world when you started working in Hyundai?
Okay, so I was a fresher before joining Hyundai. I had never worked before. So, I mean, I did not know a lot of things about the corporate world. And as I stepped into the corporate world with Hyundai, a lot of things were a surprise to me. A lot of things were a first for me. Okay. And I took my own to get adjusted to the way a corporate functions. But eventually, I think I've learned a lot, as I said again. And the journey was in fact really smooth. I think that's also because my team at Hyundai has been very supportive. Superiors have been very supportive. And so I'll tell you, I think I started with smaller projects, and I think that also helped me to be able to prove myself. And eventually, I mean, I moved on to bigger projects, and I think it was this journey from moving to smaller projects to a little bigger projects that helped me a lot in my learning process.
Okay, so as a part of the brand strategy team, what are your key responsibilities there?
Okay, so first thing, I'm not going to speak a lot about this because I am not here representing Hyundai. So I can still give you,
just in a general form,
Right, I can still give you a brief overview of what I do at Hyundai as being a part of the brand strategy team. So the first project was actually an employer branding project for me, which was a first for Hyundai and first for me. So I mean, I got a lot of creative liberty there. The second was the music project that I'm working upon. After that, I've also done a regional marketing project, and then there's again another very interesting project that I'm working upon, but can't share the details of.
Sure.
So that's about it. So brand strategy team, so we take care of the corporate brand, which is the mother umbrella brand basically. So wherever Hyundai as a brand is represented, so even the brand ambassador for that matter, and the brand scores and everything. So this is what the brand strategy team at Hyundai does, and this is what I do as a part of the team at Hyundai.
Okay, and we just went through your LinkedIn profile and saw that you were a part of Health Mug as well while you were interning there as a digital marketing intern. So what was your experience there, if you could share a light upon that?
Right. So I think first thing, I'm very grateful that I interned at a startup, and I had another opportunity to actually intern at an advertising. So I've always been an advertising and brand management enthusiast. And there was a point in time that I had an opportunity to intern with an advertising agency. And I had this opportunity from campus, which was with the startup Health Mug. And in fact, I reached out a lot of my mentors and seniors to guide me on whether I should join the advertising agency. That's what I wanted to do. or should I join the startup? And what I was advised by most was that, I mean, go with the startup, because that's where you get to learn a lot. Because even when they're hiring a summer intern, they're not hiring a summer intern. It's almost like a full-time job where you will be working. Where you will be working full-time, and they'll expect a lot of inputs from you. So I remember I used to go to office I used to reach office at 9. I used to leave at 8 in the evening. So 11 hours of work, even during my summer internship. Talking about the role that I had there, it was a digital marketing internship. And to be very honest, and I mean, I did know about digital marketing, but it was only theoretical knowledge. I never really worked in a digital marketing agency, or I've never worked in that role, right? And the founder there, I mean, because teams are also smaller, so I think you have a lot of leeway. I mean, in the sense, I mean, you get a lot of exposure, because even the founder gives you time. He wants to build his own organization, and he wants the people to perform the best. So he used to sit with me and, you know, guide me through my work. And basis that, I think the 3 months that I spent there, I led their entire Facebook campaign for them. And I started from scratch, and I learned a lot. I mean, I ended up learning a lot. So I think I'm very thankful that I interned at a startup. And I think all my other batchmates who interned along with me and had different roles. Somebody was in HR, somebody was in operations, somebody was in business development. I think all of them would agree with me on this, that, you know, interning with a startup was the best thing that, you know, they could have taken at that point.
So from what I'm getting from you is it nice to intern at a company which is already an established brand, or going for a startup? So what I understand is working with a startup is will be helpful more on the learning front. Am I right?
See, probably you may join a big company and they may give you big projects, but the chances of that happening are a lot lesser than you know, being taking, because when they do not have these startups do not have enough budget to just hire somebody and not give them projects. If they are hiring you, fire you, and they really want the best to come out.
They'll make you work.
When you join a startup, your learning is a short it's a short. But when you're working with a brand, I think that's also another experience, because they get a lot of exposure in terms of how things at corporate work. So as I told you, I mean, this was my first, when I joined Hyundai, it was my first it was my first experience with the corporate. If I had joined, I mean, if I'd interned with a big established company already, maybe I would have known the ways of corporate. But I mean, having worked at a startup, I mean, which did not have a corporate culture, I mean, joining Hyundai was something totally new for me. So maybe joining a established company also helps you in that way. But I mean, again, to each his own.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so from your profile, we got that you majored in marketing and HR. So here, as of now, like, I mean, I'm the first year, so people are really skeptical about like what to major into. Like, even if they are favoring marketing, shall they go for finance or operations? They're not sure about it. So how will you suggest the juniors to take up the roles, or understand how they can like understand which role to take up and which subject to major into?
I think there's no fixed formula to this. You actually realize it on your own. I think it depends on your interest areas and also your strengths, right? So I'll tell you about from my own experience when I was in the first year, because there were no electives, and you know, we had to just study all the subjects that were there. I realized that marketing was something that really appealed to me, and I used to very actively participate in all the discussions as compared to other you know, specializations. Even HR was really good for me, but marketing really stood out for me. And slowly and gradually, I started reading a lot about you know, lot of case studies and lot of other materials available online, and realized that two of my interests specific interest areas were brand management and advertising. And I think I used to speak so much about it and so passionately that a lot of my batchmates already knew that, this is something that, really interested in. And eventually, I think I realized, in the second year with my electives in place, I think I realized that this is something, over
You want to
HR,
pursue.
I always preferred marketing. But because I think because I've always had this creative bent of mind where I wanted to do something that was more creative, that where I have the liberty to, to be able to experiment and build storytelling, experiment with storytelling and all of that. So I think that was something that really appealed to me.
This Hyundai Motors that you're working currently, so you got placed into it from MDI-M or it was from somewhere else?
It was through campus. Okay.
So how was the interview process, if you could guide us, because the placement season is on and we really would like to know more about it. Like, were the questions directly related to what, was this the direct role that was offered? The brand strategy role, was the direct role?
It was not actually. So we were offered a sales and marketing role. It was not specified would get into sales or marketing, but the JD was broadly sales and marketing. And again, I'm not going to get into a lot of details because I don't think I should. Giving you an overview, the questions during the interview were not direct. They were all around sales and around my internship, around my family, and around my experiences in life, to be very honest. And I think they were kind of judging me whether I would fit in the culture or not, and if I am the person who can figure it out and get things done. So those were most of the questions. Those were asked, but nothing directly related to the role that I was offered. But that was, I think, also because I already spoke a lot about my internship, which was already a digital marketing internship. So that could be one
that was an add-on.
Yeah,
that was an add-on.
Yeah.
Also, one more thing, like since we are in the mid of the process, some internships is also going on. So part of the students are already placed, and the others who are not, they're really worried about themselves. So this is a kind of a, like, they're all stressed about it. So how can you guide, like, how can we come out of this and how can we handle the situation? Because it's really, I'm not pleased myself, so I'm really worried about it. The companies are coming and going, and we are sitting and applying for some, not applying for some, picking up the roles. So how can you advise to deal with this?
Okay, so I think don't worry a lot, because no point worrying. Instead, just work towards it, work more on your strengths and how you could highlight it. Maybe you can, work upon your resume and submit it to placement committee again, for that matter. But but then don't, I think there's no point worrying. And because I'll tell you from my experience, I got my summer placement in January again. So I think that's fine. Even my placement also happened in January, by the way. So I think that's fine. Meanwhile, you could just work. So one thing that I really feel that helped me was doing a SWOT analysis of yourself and identifying your, and so if, let's say, if somebody is applying for a final placement, you could always take learnings from your internship and turn them into your strength. And eventually, any employer, the foremost thing that they're looking at is whether you can get the work done or not. It's good to have domain knowledge, obviously, but then if you can get the work done, I think that's the best quality that you can, offer to a company. And I think meanwhile, you could just work around your strengths and probably, devise how you communicate it to the employers.
Okay. Yeah, one more thing that I wanted to ask is, for example, in the SIPs, I get a role of, for example, HR, while I want to pursue a major into marketing, and for the final placements, if I go for the marketing companies. So is this going to create a problem for for us, or yeah.
It's not going to create any problem. So while I was on campus, I was actually, I had two offers from campus. One was in HR and one was in marketing. I'm not going to name the company for HR.
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
And I did not have any HR experience. I did not have any HR certifications. I did not have any HR internships as well. But that was the first job that I got actually. And Hyundai was after
Okay.
that. So
Okay.
I don't think that's and as freshers, again, as I said, I mean, their expectation from you is if you can, if you have a solution oriented approach and not the domain knowledge, because I think I can still learn about marketing while being on the job and, learning from my peers, learning from my own projects, learning from my mistakes, learning from my superiors. But if I cannot get the work done, if I do not offer solutions there, then I'm of no value. So I think
Yeah.
that's primarily what everybody is looking for, irrespective of the role that they're offering you, be it HR, be it operations, be it marketing, sales, whatever. So I think that's not a problem, and that wouldn't ever be a challenge.
Okay.
If you can
Thank you so much.
communicate,
Yeah.
that's
Okay, thank you so much, Ayushi, for all your insights. We are really happy to have you here, and this is all from our end.